Hello, my name is Jim Simmons, and this is Jacob Lenhoff's Tours America, Jacob Lenhoff's YouTube channel. Like I said before, my name is Jim, and I've been asked by Jacob to answer a few questions about me. I never thought anyone would be interested about me, but apparently they are. So I want to just kind of share a little bit about my life and my profession. First question is, where did I grow up? It's very simple. In a very famous place. We all have cereal, so I grew up in the cereal capital of the world, Battle Creek, Michigan. I was born at an early age and grew up eating cereal and milk a lot. I loved it. Battle Creek is in south central Michigan. I spent all my, up to about age 19 there, and then I decided to see the world. So I decided to go out of state to college. I went to Bowling Green State University in Ohio. And from there I moved to California, and then Pennsylvania, Florida, New York City. And then I was able to go across the pond and visit London and Paris and Rome and Greece, Switzerland. And my favorite places, well, I just mentioned them. Paris is amazingly beautiful. Rome is wonderful. Switzerland, I didn't like the heights of the mountains, but I thought they were just very, very good and very wonderful. I think my favorite place was Greece. Greece is wonderful. I love the beautiful people there. I think the antiquities are amazing. I think that the blue, aqua blue oceans are just so nice. And I've gone back 3 times now, and it's, to me, one of my favorites. But the one that means the most to me would be London, England. Yes, that's where my family's from, the Simmons family. And I've gone there and I've researched a lot of my history, my heritage. I've seen stores with my names on them. I've actually met people who I think might even be related to me. So the Simmons comes from London. We even have a coat of arms, which is amazing. So those are some of my favorite places. Here in the United States, of course, I lived in Colorado, Fort Collins, right by the Rocky Mountains National Park. That was wonderful. Of course, San Diego was just tremendous to live there. I had my own professional acting company out of San Diego. And that will always remain just an amazing place for me. And then New York City, because I love the hustle and bustle of acting, and I love acting, and I've seen shows, and I actually did an off-Broadway show there. But eventually I went into education because of my acting, and I decided to teach at a university level. So I started teaching actually in Florida, and I was teaching probably 7 to 8 classes a term. And since I have 2 degrees, I would teach acting and directing and music. And then also, because I have a degree in theology, I was teaching world religions. I was teaching humanities, art appreciation, plus the directing of the shows there. And that was just a highlight of my life. Those were amazing. I had amazing students there. I was teaching on the beach, and well, not literally the beach, but in Daytona. And it was just heaven sent for all that time. I've been asked, how many plays have I directed? Well, I've directed a lot, probably well over 100. Professionally, I've probably directed maybe 50 or so, and then educationally, I've probably directed, well, like I said, over 100 shows, mostly musicals and straight comedies, dramas. Some of the shows I've directed, some of my favorite shows was Arthur Miller's Crucible, Tom Griffin's The Boys Next Door. I've also appeared in that one. I've directed, Sound of Music. I've directed The Secret Garden out west. I've directed the complete works of Shakespeare Abridged, where 3 actors do all 36 plays of Shakespeare in 90 minutes. And the last play they've done in that show, they did Hamlet and do it 4 times. And the last time they do it backwards. And I've actually directed that show 3 times. And it's always a crowd pleaser, and I think it's just wonderful. So other shows that I think have been absolutely amazing for me to be a part of, You're in Town, the musical, where you have to pay to pee. I've directed Dog Sees God, and that's a show about Charlie Brown and Linus and Lucy, all grown up when they're 18 or 19 years old, and they have to deal with real life events, and where Charlie Brown actually has to come out at some point, and he has to deal with the rejection of all of his friends because he finds out that he's different from everybody else. I love that play. It was just wonderful. I've also worked in New York City, where I taught acting classes there, but I also did a show, a one-man show off Broadway, and it was called The Jim Hurley Story. And I mentioned that because I take my one-man show I did in New York, and I do it now every semester in my drama classroom. I want to teach them how to show them exactly a performance about one of the very first victims of AIDS. And so I always make sure I do that show, and I get a great response about that. And that's hard to do because it's a tough subject. I love it. So anyway, that's just a large part of my life. And I love theater. I love travel. I love to be able to share my adventures and my knowledge to my students. So anyway, this concludes part 1. And stay tuned for part 2, and this has been Jacob Lenhoff's Tours of America. I want to personally thank Jacob for letting me do this. So stay tuned for part 2.